nigga playing on this track right here, nah. It's a full grown man right here.
BK, no college, no excuse, you understand?
As you understand.
It's an event every time we come through. Commanding General Yohanna and this heavy hitting crew. Real niggas with an attitude. How about you? I repeat, real niggas with an attitude. How about you? The Chronicles of the King, 69 to the present. Hardcore Nazarenes, we ain't never been the peasant. Like the ghetto was a present, holding everything blessed in the Most High. mercy, we gon' show them, boy, what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel. I got time.
Yeah. On 44 shit, on man. Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them, boy, what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I get it, nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin on kindness. I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch. Don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine then. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them, boy, what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rape for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. I.S.U.P.K top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that eco line into a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in the attic like they Air Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gon' show them, boy, what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rape for real.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head off, nigga.
I pray where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first.
I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is BLACKWATCH with Commanding General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. BLACKWATCH. Let the show begin.
going on, Israel? ISUPK.com. I keep saying that, right? ISUPK.org is the temporary site. Big shout out to General Shalmar, working hard, trying to put it all together for us, man. I hope all is good with you, fam. We up in the building Monday night. You know how we do. General Muhammad in the building with me, holding it down. Got Officer Marah and Yediah in play, looking with the rocking ass meat trees. Somebody need to get these meat trees out here up on the damn show, a commercial or something. They rocking them meat trees something deep. You know what I mean? You'll see when they click over the, you know what I'm saying, read or whatever. The meat trees look good, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I like them colors, them some summer colors. And I was getting ready to come out with an orange t-shirt on you, Yediah. Now you made me rethink. I'm thinking now, can I get, because I was going to go war scarf. But now you making me think maybe I need to go orange on. And then Marah come back with the yellow mustard. I'm like, y'all got all the summer colors on lock. What's going down? All right. We got a lot to talk about tonight, fam. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about that movie Prey, which I was so disgusted of. I almost broke my TV again because it was vile and just a violation in this time. Like you could stomach that type of thing a while back. But when you really know what you're looking at and you really know the history of how much they have tried to promote this spirit of a warrior princess, I'm talking, this goes back to the days of Abraham. You know I'm going to go a little bit into it. It goes all the way back to the days of Abraham. And here we are, 2022, in captivity, trying to come out of captivity. And they still shoving that vibe and that spirit down our throat. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little conspiracy tonight. Y'all got to get a little conspiracy tonight. I heard, now I don't know how true this is, but I heard, I better not say it because I'm going to have everybody running around checking this thing out. I ain't even going to put it out there. I'll wait till there's some concrete stuff come out. But they doing a lot of evil things behind the scene is all I'm just going to say on that. So we're going to talk about a little bit of that all tonight. But you know we got what we starting off with tonight, Yediah? With the Trumpster. Wait, hold it. Let me tell you something. This last week on CNN, I could not believe how upset Edomites was with law enforcement. Like Edomites sounded like black people this week, right or wrong? Oh, they out of control. They overstepped in their hand. Let me let you read the story, man. It was crazy. Go ahead.
Colonel One Concert. The far right is calling for civil war after the FBI raid on Trump's home. Experts say that fight wouldn't look like the last one.
Wait a minute. Look like the last one. What you know what the last one was? That was when they ran up in that Capitol. Go ahead. So they saying it ain't gonna look like that next time. Meaning they're gonna do way. Go ahead.
If I could, sir, I believe I spoke with you about this, a while ago. This is manager of my slavery that got caught at the Capitol, took a picture in Nancy Pelosi's office where they defecated.
Damn.
He hasn't been at the slavery in a couple of days, sir.
In a couple of days.
In a couple of days, sir. He ain't been there.
He in that basement doing the Ted Kaczynski on there, sit up there with wire caps and blast caps or whatever crap they be using down there. You know what I mean? And got some pipes. You know what I'm saying? Like this place is crazy. Go ahead. I want to get the story out.
Colonel Khan, sir. In the wake of an FBI search of former President Donald Trump's Florida home, some far-right figures have been spreading violent rhetoric online.
Listen, and once again, that's okay. Black people, you not the same. You in the mindset of the slave. And I ain't telling you that you supposed to rise up and become violent because you got a power that fights for you. You understand? All you got to do is obey him and he'll tell you what to fight, what to kill, what to destroy. But these Edomites out, they threw all their law and order out the window the minute Donald Trump they stepped into his crib. Go ahead, Salaki. I don't want to get the story all the way out. My bad.
Colonel Khan, sir, including calls for war.
Calls for war. Go ahead.
Colonel Khan, the Republican Party has been long portrayed itself as a defender of law and order, but the aftermath of the raid has seen GOP lawmakers like Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene called for defunding the FBI.
Wait a minute. No, not what's her name?
Kamala Khan.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Kamala Khan.
Not Miss Republican Donald Trump is always right. Did she say defund the FBI?
Kamala Khan.
Now, let me tell you something, Mark, if I could. That is concrete proof that what black people and Latino people been complaining about is true. Like when it happens to white people, they doing the same complaining that you were doing. But while you was doing it, they were saying you don't want to obey the law. You don't want to respect law enforcement. The reason you being pulled out of cars is because you're doing crime. When they was doing it to us, and we was saying defund the police, and we was saying change how the police department run, when we was saying we being abused, they overreaching, they out of control, which they was, because them street cops was way out of control, busting heads and abusing and murdering black people, man. And as blacks and Latinos and Native Indians was complaining, their ears was deaf to it. They was deaf to them things. Remember Giuliani got up in there? I wish you could find that tape for me, Marah. Where Giuliani said he was on some news show. I know it's going to be hard to find, but he was on some news show where he said, you don't mind me, and they chime in whenever you're ready. Like he was on some news show saying the whole reason that most black people get arrested because you the one doing most of the crime. He said that. Donald Trump's attorney said, personal attorney, you understand, hero of 9/11, mayor of New York City, said we getting pulled over by the cops because we doing the most crime. Well, guess what? They raided the president's mansion on the water in Palm Beach because of crimes. And black people, Latino people, Native Indian people, man, you should see the hypocrisy so you feel no guilt when you stand up and say something. See, in the Israelite school of UPK, we don't got no guilt about telling the truth about what the hell is going on. Don't care what they try to label us with. I don't care what they try to label us with or call us or put us in a box. We don't fall for none of that. But a lot of you out there, you don't want to get ridiculed. You don't want them saying different things about black people, so you shut your mouth. So you back away from the truth. So you get away from, having to speak out. Meanwhile, when it happens to them, they went right. It only one incident. And they went right to it. Defund the cops. They overreaching. Yada, 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 yada. And ain't nobody telling them. I don't hear no white people saying, oh, respect the law enforcement. Oh, respect the FBI. Oh, they're just doing their job. Oh, when the officers come, respect what they tell you to do. Speak politely to the police officer, right? Speak politely to them. Ain't that what they was telling us? Now you mad and all in arms calling for revolution. You understand? Got Miss Taylor, whatever her name is, Marjorie Taylor Greene, running up and down in the Capitol with her over steroid itself. You got a mess going on up there now. Meanwhile, we've been suffering this for years and years, decades. And you done shamed Black and Latino and Native Indian people into not standing up. You, in essence, you really got them to blame themselves for what happened. And it's a damn stinking shame. And now it happened to Trump. I mean, the law and order president, right? The law and order. We have to respect the law. The law and order presidente. And meanwhile, all you doing is breeding unlaw and order. They done ran all up in the Capitol and all that. Now talking about doing it again. Y'all don't even know. And listen, you so busy been abusing God's people. You've been abusing God's people so much you didn't see the madness riding up in your people. Donald Trump and them saw it. Them old gangsters, whatever you call them, I don't want to say they gangsters, but they act like gangsters. That old, what's the pinstripe suit wearing cat? What's his name? Indicted him. Stone, Roger Stone. Oh, he swear he mob deep. You know what I'm saying? Him, Giuliani, Breitbart cat that do the moon pods. All of them was like they was all Billy Badass. So the FBI kicked in that damn door, not kicked it in, but walked in the door and said, give up the papers. Now, all of a sudden, law and order out the window. Law and order talk is to abuse God's people. That's the point of that talk. And it is why you got to, listen, that got to be part of your lifestyle has to be, what is the state of my people? You can't just bury yourself in your job and social media and your little concerns. You have part of your life has to be me and my people. That's what Moses did. Moses looked at his people and changed the world and made history for life simply because he decided, you know what, I'm going to just look. Let me go down and see what's up with my people. And blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, man, that's your job, man. You better do it. You better honor God by saying, what is the state of my people? You understand? Was there more to it? Let's get it in. You got that footage? I believe so, sir. Come on, let's see it. If we can. Can we play it? Is it gonna get us jammed? Could, right? Face the Nation. They're gonna clock us on it. Yeah. Well, we'll pass on it, but you know what I mean? Y'all can look it up for yourself on YouTube. He said it. Okay. We got to get that press. Anyway, we'll work on that. But go ahead. Give me some more on the story.
Conor Khan, sir. Green has also made references to civil war on social media.
This is a congresswoman making references to civil war. If black people had did that, the FBI be kicking in all our doors. If black people, Latinos got together and said, man, like Raza, let's revolution, you know what I mean, on them, forget about it. They be kicking in our doors. All they did is come in his house and take, top secret documents out his house. And what happened? All of a sudden, they call him for, and would show you who's ruling over your dumb ass. Like that, like what it should show you is look who's ruling over you. You looking at that footage of them Capitol riots. You looking at how they acting when some heat come on them. And I said this, Yediah, I said this, Marah. I said back in the day down in D.C. on the streets, I said the only reason that white people treat you like this is because they're eating you alive and ruling over you. Wait till the Lord start cutting them off. I said, then you're going to see the real Edomites that's ruling over you. Did I not say that? And that's exactly what's happening right now. Now you're getting to see the real Edomite come out. Because now the Lord coming down on them. That's what all this is about. All this is about the ending of the world as they know it. This is about biblical prophecy. This is all about the changing of the God from the Edomites' rulership to Christ's rulership, just like Ezra said. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of that which followeth. Meaning they're going to go down, and then blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, by the hand of the Lord, are going to be raised up to rule over all the nations on this earth, man. That's what's coming next. You shouldn't go. Handle it. You understand? That's what's going down. That's what we dealing with. And so as we see this go on and transpire, you should see who's ruling over you. You should see the times you living in. You should see what matter of man and woman you should be. And you should see that this is the end and getting ready to be the beginning of Christ's kingdom, man. And now the Bible should be more real than ever to you. The Bible should be your best comfort now. It should include all that you're dealing with right now. You got more on that story? Because now it finally come out, and for the life of me, this is what I don't understand. Black people, Latino people, it seems like y'all don't even discuss it. Like these people come out and show their real colors, and y'all barely even discuss them. They talking about you at the dinner table every minute. Niggas doing this, niggas doing that, niggas doing that. What them niggas doing? Don't do that. It's like the niggas do. They the inventors of bywords on blacks and Latinos, man. They invented nigga. They invented wetback. They invented all of that. And they talk about you day and night. And meanwhile, when they go and be the hypocrites of what the very thing that they talking about, you ain't got nothing to say. You ain't even remotely concerned. You understand? Which I don't even understand. Go ahead.
Conor McCon, sir. On social media, as Republican colleagues compare the FBI to the Gestapo and depict the raid as the sort of thing that only occurs in third world countries.
Salakia. Sorry about that. I got distracted. My bad. Go ahead.
Conor McCon. It says, as her Republican colleagues compare the FBI to the Gestapo and depict the raid as the sort of thing that only occurs in third world countries, a spokesman for the Georgia Republican maintains that one of Green's tweets mentioning civil war was in reference to infighting for a war of ideas in the GOP.
They got to clean it up. Like, oh, we was just talking about a war of what we was thinking. We wasn't talking about actually raiding the Capitol again and burning half of America down. We was just talking about, having an exchange of ideas, good things, you know what I mean? Good knowledge of exchange of ideas. And can I add one last point before I pass it? Let me tell you something. Like do you know what the biggest thing I got out of this latest event is exactly what our king told us. Okay, he said, beware of the Sadducees and Pharisees, the leaven of the Sadducees and Pharisees, for it is hypocrisy. And let me tell you something. It was hypocrisy because they were supposed to be the leaders of the Lord's people. And instead, they were the puppets of the Roman Empire. So they were hypocrites, pretending to be one thing and totally really another thing. So what I'm saying is this. These Edomites sit up there and act like they all about law and order and all about these rules. But really, they hypocrites. And you respect them as though they're going to deal with you just. And then you wondering why there's 1.3 million black people locked up, black and Latinos locked up in prison. You think it's because we just doing so much crime. You so ignorant. You think it's because we doing so much crime, and you don't never say to yourself, maybe it's because really these people are hypocrites, that they don't really stand on the law and order that they say they do, because what happened to Trump happened to black people all the time. At least they came plain clothes, knocked on the door, asked if his lawyer was there. Once his lawyer was there, walked in with his lawyer, you understand, talked to his lawyer, asked his lawyer where the things were at. At least they handled him with, kid gloves. Being the ex-president gave him a certain monicum of due respect. You understand? But black people, Breonna Taylor is dead. Eleanor Bumpurs is dead. Eric Gardner is dead. Black people encounter them and die. And then when we complain, law and order, nigga. Behave, nigga. Law and order. Follow the law. When the cops pull you over, keep your hands on the steering wheel. When the cops pull you over, don't talk back to the cop. You know what they say? Don't talk back to the cop. Trump on the internet slamming the FBI to their face. Congressmen, senators, these are lawmakers. They write the law. They wrote the very law that the Attorney General went and raided his house on. He Trump appointed that attorney general himself. Where's the law and order now? Mexicans have to respect the law of America. You can't come here and be an illegal alien and break the law. It's all about the law. You have to get back out the country because of the law. You must deal with the law. Gone the minute it happens to them. You living in such an evil world and you can't even see it. This place is so evil, but you can build righteousness here. Like you got opportunity here to build righteousness of the Most High, to do before the God of the world something that nobody's willing to do. And that is to be righteous and to change into righteousness in this world. You got a chance to show all the angels in the fourth dimension that you in the middle of all this. Remember, the Lord said, I made the eye. Can I not see? He see everything. He see every evil act that go on, even if you don't see it. So you got the chance right now before the Most High to show all the angels righteous acts. You got a chance to show them all righteous acts. And brother, have the Lord change the evil world you live in. Like this was a paradise. Like I said, food, vegetables, water, air, all free. Free and maintenance free, run by itself. The Lord built you a paradise that runs better than any Dell computer you ever bought. It don't crash, you understand? It don't catch a virus. It don't do none of that when it's in its right order. He gave all that to you. You got a chance to do what's right. They hypocrites. I'm done. Go ahead. Y'all want to add something or you want to move on?
If I could, I remember we put out a show a little while back about how Donald Trump, he had that something of the White House where all law enforcement behind him.
Yeah.
He going back to the day where, you can start doing things to crooks and criminals and all that kind of stuff. They'd be more violent with them, be more aggressive with them. The Lord turned the table, now had it happen to him.
And
same exact way.
Haas, bring it out. Remember what he said, if you're going to put him in the car, bang is there. He was telling them to abuse black people. Come on, man. Right? He said you go to put the guy, remember in the campaign, you go to put the guy in the car. You understand? You see they bow his head down. No, you give him a little bump or something. I'm paraphrasing. He said it. Mr. Presidente. How in the hell you ain't following the law? They told him, don't take the classified documents out the White House. He took it any damn way. They sent him a letter to his lawyer saying, please give the documents over. They ignored the letter. Then they came to the building, took some of the stuff out, and then made his lawyer sign a letter saying, all classified documents have been turned over. The lawyer signed the damn letter. Come back, they got 15 boxes of top secret, all that stealth bomber shit, the rockets and all that satellite shit sitting in the basement of Mar-a-Lago. Niggas getting drunk, running down to the basement, read, oh, what? We got this? We got our own UFOs. They down there all up in it. Oh, I didn't know we had this. Remember, he started the damn Space Force. They building all that. He got it down in the damn basement, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you throw boxes in your damn garage or something. Like that. And last point, I'm coming to you right now. And let me tell you something. And this is revealed to you so you could stop looking at your slave master as a god. Yeah. So you could stop looking at the greatness that he had as something special. So you could find your goddamn way home and start to serve your God. Salaki, go ahead, Julian.
If I could, sir, and one of the biggest charges that they're charging him with is espionage. Now, espionage means that they got someone on the inside that can testify to intent for why he took those documents home, that his intent was to sell them to someone, because that's espionage. to go and spy for another country, to get information to give to someone else. And Donald Trump lost money while he was in the White House. He had to put his own money up for his campaign. He had to stop making money. And that cat is a money lustful pig on another level. And there is no way that he did not set up a way to make some money when he got out of that White House. And he is just, it would have been in his nature to do it. He would have did it like on instinct, would have said, hold up, I could sell this. Wait a minute, do China want to see this? His instinct, like a lion and a cheetah, would have said, take this home and see how I can recoup these losses.
Listen, if I could. Listen, what you saying is so heavy in this respect. Listen, they've already pegged us as being petty criminals. You know what I mean? Well, cops pull you over because you're always doing robberies. Cops pull you over because you're always doing crime. Cops pull you over because you're always carrying guns. Well, listen, it ain't a far-fetched to think that a white man will sell his mama's drawers.
You got a profile.
Yes. Like, it's not a stretch to think an Edomite would not sell his mama's drawers for a chance to up his pocket. You understand? And so I can't blame I can't say the Attorney General is, off the mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's being ridiculous. Man, wake up. Wake up.
Can I say one last thing?
Get there.
And it was so cruel. Not only was it cruel of every Republican, but it was cruel. And this is who I'm waiting to hear from now. Is all of those black Christians and black people who are conservative in their, who pretend to be conservative. And when the riots were in the streets, sir, they were looking at black people like their own people were animals. Because, look at what black people are doing out there. We really deserve this because we're committing the crime. There are a lot of black people that believe the propaganda during the time of the riots.
Tons of Caiaphases.
Oh, tons of Caiaphases. Like black people who looked at it like, really, the police are doing this because we are committing all the crime. That's why they're treating us like that, because we need to learn how to talk to the police. There were black people giving classes on how to talk to the police, believing that if we would learn how to treat the police better in a traffic stop, that in some way that would save us. I want to hear from them. And how cruel is it to even be angry about what happened to Donald Trump when this week the federal government indicted those murderers of Breonna Taylor, who they didn't receive 1% of the professionalism that Donald Trump received. They forged the document to raid her house and then went to the back of the house and just shot the entire house up. And to even be angry about Donald Trump when you know that this week they indicted the police officers for recklessly murdering Breonna Taylor, to even care about it is cruel. It's like an insult to her family to say that something that happened to Donald Trump was wrong when this week the murderers of Breonna Taylor got indicted.
Insane. And those of you that look at it like that, it's because you love your master, but you don't have no right judgment. Like, I understand why the Lord say he sitteth in the judgment seat. He sitteth in the judgment seat because you don't have no judgment. And because you don't have no judgment, the Lord got to sit in the judgment seat and deal with you in that judgment. Otherwise, you would never get out of this kingdom. You would never get your kingdom for yourself. You would never be an actual people again. None of that. You getting it because the Lord seen it, look down from heaven and see what's happening to you is unjust. So he bringing the noise on this kingdom. And if I could, how dare they be even angry at the FBI coming to get classified documents that's actually there when they were locking up thousands of babies in cages.
Yeah.
Like babies, little toddlers that need Pampers change. If you a sister right now, somewhere in the world watching this show, and you got a toddler in the house, just look over at your toddler and imagine that toddler in a cage with 300, 400 other kids, and you cannot deal with them. And the security guards got to change your baby diaper, and your baby only going to get fed if somebody take enough care in the facility to go through every child and make sure he fed. Your child gonna have diaper rash, Pampers they had on for days, feces in the pamper, touching and licking on every germ and disease you could think of, coronavirus, everything going there. Child molesters who was already arrested, already been in the facility, molesting children, might have been yours. I ain't trying to scare you or break your heart, but while you got your baby at home, you should imagine that for a minute. That's what happened to the tribe of Issachar. And brother, nobody has been able to even bring them a small modicum of respect and dignity and repair the situation. And on top of it, imagine if your kid went through all that, and on the top of it, they tell you, oh, well, we're sorry, we lost your kid along with 1,500 other babies. We don't know what happened to them. We don't know where they are. We don't know if they're dead or alive. We don't know what has happened to your baby. Now, you feel that for a minute and then tell me I'm so goddamn wrong, you understand, for standing up for what I'm standing up for. I'm hated in this empire. They cannot stand me in this empire, and they cannot stand me waking up you brothers and sisters in this empire. And the more they can't stand me, the more the damn numbers keep going up. Like the more angry they get, the more the numbers come up, because what I'm saying is true.
That's right, sir.
The monstrosity of abuse that happened to them babies down there. And if you're a Black or Latino or Native Indian man, if you can't even use your voice to be angry, if you can't even have an angry voice, then you are not really even a man anymore. If you can't at least be mad about some injustice that happened to you, then or happened to your people, then you really should could declare yourself a woman, because really you're not even a man, because it takes a little modicum of manhood to at least say that is wrong. You know what I mean? That's the whole purpose of being a man, is to be able to mete out some sense of justice. You understand? From the Most High. And if you can't even say this is wrong, then why just put on a dress so you could just take orders? Because you don't even have enough in you to even be able to say something is wrong. I ain't saying do nothing, but to say something is wrong. Them Edomites got it in them, though. Oh, they full of it. They raising hell. To threaten the United States, the most powerful military sitting on the face of the earth, to say you gonna riot, you white people, and it's not gonna be like before. I mean, the audacity for you to say it, the freedom, the authority over your empire, the freedom you must feel to be able to talk that way, and you actually scare the government. They was on this week, the FBI agents were scared to death for their families. Yes, they were. Like the fact that you can say it and be that, boy, I tell you, boy, I don't know what that feels like. I'd like to feel that one day. But I know in Christ's kingdom, I'm going to feel that. In Christ's kingdom, I'm going to be able to love my people as much as I ever wanted. I'm going to be, I was looking, if I could, a little sidebar. I know we're running on. Let me get this little last piece in before we can jump on. I'm watching that movie. I watched it a couple of times. That movie, Lone Survivor. Y'all ever seen that movie? It's that with Mark Wahlberg. It's about them Navy SEALs that went up there to assassinate that Afghanistanian warlord. And they got caught up in the mountains. And because they, and they got into a fight. And they fought to the bitter end. One of them got back. Everybody else got killed. And I said to myself, boy, oh boy, these cats threw all the way down, gave it everything they had, because that's how much they love their empire. They love their empire, that they put their heart, because it's a true story. They put their heart in it to the bitter end for their own people and identity. And I said, boy, what that must feel like to be like, it's one thing if you Black and become a Navy SEAL for some personal success or, because you just want to know how good you are. It's another thing to become a Navy SEAL because you believe in your soul of souls that your country is the greatest and the most beautiful blessing that ever could come from God. Like that's a different Navy SEAL. Like that Navy SEAL, they gonna drop him in the middle of hell, and that boy going down for the get down, and you play with him, and he's going to decimate you because his heart is where it should be. And guess what? As a Black, Latino, Native Indian, you don't have that ability. You don't even have the nation to be that way. You got to do it for a nation that hated your people for 400 years and put them in slavery and abuse you and talk down to you and murder your own brothers on the streets. That's who you got to do it for. So you will never be. That's why most Navy SEALs ain't black. You ain't never going to be a Navy SEAL. You ain't never going to be one on that level. You going to ring the bell. Why? Because what's in them is different than what's in you. You know when you're going to be able to not ring the bell and be that Navy SEAL? When Christ built his kingdom. When Christ built his kingdom, oh my God, you're going to be that Navy SEAL then. You're going to be like, this kingdom that come from Christ, better nobody mess with this kingdom because I'm going all the way out for this kingdom. That's how you're going to get down. And that's how Christ's kingdom going to be. That's how it was in the past. Remember, the Lord said he's going to build his kingdom the way he built it on David in the past. And David had 33 mighty men. And them cats was bad as hell. They said one of them was better than David. One of them was more a killer than David. And you know how much killing David did. So he said he's going to build that kingdom again. And he's going to build that kingdom out. And then you're going to see some Navy SEALs for their nation. And I bet you every country got it. So-called Jews, the Arabs, the East Indians, the Chinese, the Japanese. I bet you all them countries got it. But there's one people that don't have it, not on that level, because you in another man's empire trying to love this empire while it abuse you. You should wake up and serve the Lord. You should put him first. Like his laws, statutes, and commandments, the things he wants, his kingdom is what should be in the forefront of you. And that's why they're going to eventually watch. After a while, they're going to eventually try to get rid of the Bible. Why? Because they're going to say this Bible is too destructive and they already started. But watch after a while, they're going to say, you know, they'll come up with something because this Bible is what brings you back to your truth. I'm done.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, Marah, please.
Go ahead, Marah.
Oh, if I could, sir. Salak, it's the water you die. If I could, there's an article from the Insider on what Trump had to say when they raided his house.
Come on.
Trump's latest defense for Mar-a-Lago documents is everyone brings their work home from time to time.
Jesus Christ. You mean to tell me this cat was sitting in the White House talking about everybody bring their documents home and he got all the nuclear secrets?
15 boxes.
Yeah. 15 boxes of work home. Like he reading documents. Got the codes to the, what they call that? The football, the nuclear football. Got the codes to the button. Go ahead, Marah Salaki. That was it. Come on, man. Come on. And you looking at like, you acting like, you know, I ain't telling you, listen, for everybody to understand, I ain't telling you to break no laws. I don't break no laws in America. You understand? I don't break none, not one. You understand? Might be a little sick. I still trying to work out that seatbelt. That seatbelt's a rough one on me. That seatbelt, I can't move like, you know, I can't pop. You know what I'm saying? Seatbelt keep me a little too restricted. I be wanting to, you know.
The alarm driving.
Yeah, man. I know it's driving the brothers crazy. They be in the car with me. They tries to hold out till I pick up on the ding. I never hear the ding. General, if you can put the seatbelt on. Salam. But I like that freedom because if I want to move, I want to move. You know what I'm saying? But that's my only problem. I'll be working on that seatbelt. But other than that, man, I don't break no laws in this kingdom. I don't break no laws in this kingdom, man. You know what I mean? If the kingdom will lay out some laws, as long as the kingdom don't be making laws to violate the Most High. Their laws don't violate the Most High kingdom. You understand? Now, eventually they may come and make laws that violate the Lord, but the Lord ain't let them make it, so there's no reason to break no laws. I don't break no laws. I ain't telling nobody out here to break no law. Don't go out here and break no laws. And listen, and get out of the propaganda. And here's why you shouldn't break laws. You shouldn't break laws because they've been training us from children to be criminals. They want you in that mindset. Don't pick up the extra pack or whatever because you can get away with it because the guy walked to the back and you can now stick it in your bag. Don't do it. Don't jump to try. I remember Mo and them used to be telling us because we was young coming down from the Bronx. And back in the 80s, 90s, jumping the turnstile was the thing you did as a young dude. You know what I mean? Jump the turnstile. Mm-hmm. And Mo and them checked the hell out of us, man. Was like, yo, what the hell you doing? You know, we just trying to, beat that toll, Mo, and get down the car. Marshall was like, listen, man, You know what I mean? I think that it was like $1.50. He said, you going to jump the turnstile and get locked up for $1.50 and miss one of these amazing classes we teaching in here. And we all sat back. It was a bunch of us. We all put our head down. You know, we young, you know, put our head down like, and he was like, man, don't come in here and learn the truth and be an asshole. Mo would check the shit out of us. He was like, don't come in here and learn the truth just to be an asshole. He said, man, if this devil say, pay $1.50, pay the $1.50 and know that you paid it so that you could get to class, so you could learn this truth, so you could wake your brothers up, so you could stand on the street and curse him out, give him $10,000 worth of curse out. I said, damn. You know what I mean? He was like, damn. Big shout out to Marshall, you know what I mean? Rest in peace. So that's how we came up. We came up like that. Don't be no criminal. Don't, even if you can get away with it. Don't compromise your moral spirit. You understand? You ain't reading that in them scriptures. You ain't reading that. You understand? Build this truth. You are honorable before the angels. You honorable before Christ. Let your light shine. Don't let that darkness you came out of still be a part of you when it's time to shine in the light. It's time to shine in the light. Shed that darkness. Let that light shine. Let that honorable, righteous man of the Most High shine. And don't matter, and listen, you gonna be persecuted for it. That's what you're supposed to be persecuted for. Don't get like Paul said. Get me right on this, y'all. Paul said, be not persecuted as a thief, as an evildoer. He said, don't be persecuted as that. But it's a good thing when you persecuted for really being right.
Right.
And if you don't know better, look at me, brother. I get persecuted in this with this truth like crazy. Like they want to rip my damn soul out, turn every brother against me. They want to tear this whole daggone school down. You understand? But stand up in this truth, man. Be hated. You understand? Understand to be hated. You know what I mean? Because they hypocrites, but there is a kingdom coming where there won't be hypocrites, where the men of God will stand up. And then, brother, we're going to have something special. They had their time. They could have made the greatest righteous kingdom in the world. They got all the power to do it. They could make this kingdom whatever they wanted to do. They could make it paradise if they want. Who gonna resist them? Nobody. Nobody. So they didn't do it. They had their time. Christ's gonna do it now. That's the kingdom I'm gonna get down with.
Damn right, sure.
Water. So that's it. Damn right. What else we holding you, Di? I know I ran on for a little bit, so lock it. Let's get it in. Let's do it.
Khan, sir. D.C. Mayor Bowser begs for National Guard's help with migrant crisis.
Brother, listen to me. If I could, can somebody please look up the population of Washington, D.C., and then look up the population of the surrounding area? Okay? Then I'm going to let you read the story before I comment. I just want you to know that number. You got it?
I have my phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm on it right now, sir.
Like, that's all I want to know is what is the current population of Washington, D.C.? And I'm going to show you something that this kingdom is not yet recognized yet. Go ahead,
Khan. The population of D.C., 670,000 people.
670,000, right? Do you have surrounding areas by any chance? I don't want to run too long.
Lies or just D.C.?
Read the story.
Khan. Washington, D.C.'s mayor, Muriel Bowser, has formally renewed her bid to get National Guard's help for the critical flood of border crossers being shipped in by fed-up officials in Arizona and Texas. Bowser wrote to Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin on Thursday, almost a week after the Pentagon denied her initial plea for help with the mass arrivals, which are now also streaming into the Big Apple. She again begged for support to help prevent a prolonged humanitarian crisis in our nation's capital, resulting from the daily arrival of migrants in need of assistance. The progressive mayor initially begged for help on July 19th, saying that more than 4,000 migrants had arrived after being sent on buses from overwhelmed border states.
4,000. 4,000 migrants. 4,000. Go ahead,
Khan. Defiant Texas Governor Greg Abbott has also started shipping border crossers to New York, telling Mayor Eric Adams that he will not stop until President Biden's administration changes its immigration policies.
If I could. I'm so glad this story came out. First of all, so you was going to say something, Jim?
No.
First of all, let me explain something to you. That this story is completely and utterly about racism because they shipped in hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians across the border. And wasn't no governors mad shipping them to other states. Them governors took every single Ukrainian that came across that Mexican border and any other ones that flew in from anywhere else. They took every single Chinese immigrant that came in with them border babies, because them Chinese known for coming over here pregnant so they can have the baby in the United States and the baby become a citizen and they apply for what they call it, green card or whatever. And they be getting it because the baby's an American citizen.
Okay.
Anchor babies, I think they call them. Anchor babies. Okay. The Chinese do a ton of it. Ain't nobody ship them or bust them nowhere. No immigrant that have come from anywhere in the world were they shipped except for them Issacharites because they galvanized them Issacharites to hate them. Yeah. Now, here's the sad part. You have a mayor in Washington, D.C., the seat of government power, that gets 4,000 migrants, and they have already begging for the National Guard. 4,000 migrants, and they can't even control it, which shows you that they are not prepared for the Lord's chosen people. Moses had to deal with 600,000 soldiers. That didn't include women and children and old feeble men. That was just the soldiers was 600,000. He had to cross the Sinai Peninsula, the desert, with 600,000 soldiers. And 600,000 soldiers means you really talking about 1.2 million people with that 600,000 soldiers, because with the women and the children, and it's really probably more than that. I'm giving you a conservative number of 1.2. So with the soldiers, you talking about Moses had to roll 1.8 plus probably 2 million, 2.5 million people he had to cross the Sinai Peninsula with out of Egypt. They can't even handle 400. And you know why they can't handle 400? Because this place has been so evil to the Lord's chosen people that they cannot foster the love to have the people help them. They got 675,000 people in D.C. You telling me 675,000 people, you can't get people to volunteer to feed and tent 4,000 people while you put them to work? And you can't use your mayoral power to give them some monicum of immigrant. Listen, if it was me, let me tell you exactly what I do. I go right down to D.C. and find the biggest park they got. Probably that thing where Martin Luther King had his speech at. Where's that at? The Capitol? That little rotunda thing, that grove they set up. I set up 4,000 tents, put it on the city budget. You wasting money any goddamn way. Set up 4,000 tents. I'd call out for volunteers. D.C., we got to handle this. D.C., if the body was together, once again, if the body was together, if it was UPK, 600,000, 675,000 UPK, the Mexicans would be twice their size in 30 days. Them sisters are mac and cheese that ass up something tight. Them sisters are collard greens that ass up quick. You understand? I'd have had them all fed. I'd have had to schedule volunteers. We need X amount 3 times a day. Baby formula, whatever. Run it on down. Then the next thing I do is they immigrants. I'll be like, we giving them immigrant pay. They ain't gonna get regular pay, okay? And that was working for the Issacharites for years. They was working in them fields and working at Home Depot. That was working for years. Why it can't work no more? I sent them all to Home Depot. Everybody can't wait till they come back. Niggas paying crazy money. You understand? I almost shanked the damn the cat to do my grass. He come up and give me I said, what? I said, listen, man, I need you to trim my. He said, what? I said, man, I better call a card. I'm end up shanking somebody out here. Running up the damn prices and all that. I have everybody house hooked up. You understand? They all be working. Be restaurants and food trucks and carts popping up everywhere. The coquitos be back, all that. The tacos, the pasteles, arroz con pollo, all that good shit be rocking again at discounted prices. You the mayor, man. But you can't do that because you got evil Edomites who will crucify you if you do it. And you got black people and Latino people that hate them because they've been taught that by the slave master. 4,000 loyal, abiding citizens, man. 4,000 loyal brothers coming off of buses with nothing. You got the chance to change their life. Give me them 4,000, man. You got crime in D.C.? Oh, you got crime in D.C. I'm teaching English as a second language, man. And I'm opening up gun out of anybody that's legit and ain't a criminal. Okay, now I got cops on the street.
Neighborhood watch.
I got neighborhood watch. Right. That's what the Edomites do.
Yeah.
I mean, you not ready to fix God's people. And you hate me, don't want to give me a shot, blocking me every way you can, and you ain't even ready for it. Oh, he's a racist. He's them niggas, filthy niggas. You can't even handle it. You got to beg for the National Guard. And they did, and you such suckers. They did it to shame you.
Yep.
They did it to punk you. They loaded them off in the street to punk you because of immigration, and you got punked. And you let them punk you. You, in essence, said to them that they can go ahead and lock up their babies or treat them like crap on the border. Because when they sent them to a Democratic city, the Democrats called for the National Guard. That's what we've been saying. You see the problem? You niggas want immigration. Well, here's your niggas. And you
a sanctuary city.
Yes.
Yeah. Here they go.
Here they are. And you failed them. You went out like a chump. And I ain't got nothing against the mayor, you know what I'm saying? She be trying to fight. She on that Black Lives Matter fight and all that. She be coming up against her. I don't have a stake in that game. The only game I got a stake in is Christ's kingdom. That's the only game I got a stake in. You understand? And when I see things that I know could be done to further his kingdom and yet are ignored or passed over or misunderstood, then, you know, I'm going to have a voice about it. I'm going to say something about it. You understand? Because you could build righteous individuals. You know how many blacks and Latinos, man, that know English and Spanish, man? Could put all them babies in school, put all them brothers in school, let them start learning English, man. Turn them in. And here's the evil part. Let me just add something for those of you that don't know. It's an illusion that the United States, see, cats like me, I travel. I know the United States. See, if you don't travel, you don't know. They gassing you up with the idea that there's no room for these immigrants. There's no jobs for them. There's no nothing for them. That's a complete and utter lie. There are tens of thousands of acres. America is only 28% populated. Now feel that for a minute. 28% of the land mass is the population of the country. 28. Go look it up. That's how much the population. The rest is free land. Check it out.
Can I make it worse for you,
Please.
sir? We just did a story. I remember it like it was yesterday in here where they have the high schools in every major city. And of course, all of the factories from the 60s are all closed down. Not only is there space, there's giant unoccupied buildings everywhere. Giant high schools.
Yep.
Giant old factories.
Abandoned cities.
Giant abandoned Detroit. Abandoned city hospitals. Sitting there with the grass growing out the windows.
Yeah.
The building is already there. Yeah. It's the high school you used to go to, but it's empty now.
Bro.
And there it is.
David Chappelle made a joke that was the funniest joke. I laughed, bro. I almost fell out my chair. I'm watching David Chappelle. Salaki, I mean,
no, that was it.
Salaki. I'm watching David Chappelle. David Chappelle had he was saying how he had two people in the audience. He had a Oriental woman and a Mexican man. And we saw that joke, right? And he was talking about it and joking about it. And he said, so you're Mexican and you're Chinese. And they was like, yeah. And he said, well, one thing I got to tell you, you're going to have the hardest working children in the world. And everybody bust out laughing. And it was such a funny joke because that's the truth about the tribe of Issachar. Like, that's what made it so funny. It was funny because it was like everybody know it's true and you treating them like garbage. Mm-hmm. They is the hardest working people in the world. Them Chinese work hard too, but they be cheating on all them SATs and all that. They be lying about all that, trying to get up in Harvard and Yale. You lying on tests, stealing tests, paying off for tests. You ain't fooling nobody with that. The model citizen, what they call it?
Model citizen, that's right.
Model
minority.
So there it is. Model minority. You ain't fooling nobody with that. But them Issacharites get down in the get down. They get down in the grind. You understand? They get down on even a low-paying job and do what they got to do. And they such an asset. These homes out here looking like crap. You let these Issacharites loose on some of these abandoned homes and abandoned neighborhoods and give them some kind of deal where they can move into the instead of doing what you evil people do in these cities, which the brothers put me up on game. You sit up there and snatch all these abandoned buildings, hold them, squeeze the market, and then you have a sheriff's auction. So you can sell the building high as hell because, of course, the real estate is so needed because you holding you and Zillow and a few other rich bastards is sitting up there holding all the real estate. So can't nobody get a low price house. So then you can auction it all off and keep the majority of the poor people out the game. I ain't even gonna go into that game because my head gonna pop off. So I'm not even gonna go into that. But the point is, 4,000 brothers. You could change so much with it. Every restaurant, why you think the restaurant's closing? Because ain't no American who been eating corn and all the other garbage you've been giving them for 400 years, all the other stuff that McDonald's or God knows what is, you put a McDonald's burger out and 3 years later, the burger perfectly fine. You understand? And now you expect the cat that's eating that to be in the back of some restaurant frying up chicken and, and cooking on the hot grill and making eggs and bacon. Come on, man. What are you bugging? He'd rather go, do something else. And you know what else I'm talking about. I'm not promoting it. But the tribe of Issachar down there eating something totally different, malnutrition as they could damn be. They ready to come over the border and get busy, man.
He is hired.
He is hired. That's his tribal zone. And it's so evil to be weak on it, man. Y'all need to make me mayor of one of these cities. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, you need to let me get a crack at it, man. Let me get a crack at the game, boy. Let me get DC. Give me 3 years in DC. Man, it'll be the ball. We be partying in the streets in DC. It'd be a festival. Niggas be out there with their bikes and all that shit. In 3 years. They'll be like, tourism has spiked in Washington, D.C. over the last 3 years. I had a whole city damn rocking. Not because I'm anything, because I'm nothing. But I'd have it rocking because I got the greatest document on the face of this earth to show me how to do it right. It's called the Bible, in case you never heard of it. Damn and right. That's how you get things done, man. Damn right. So, Lockie, I ran on. Go ahead, General.
How you say something, Burger? Yeah, come on, General. I remember when you was talking about about Issachar. It's a Chinese, it's a Moab restaurant in Chinatown, Philly. They got some good ass food. And I always thought it was Moab cooking it. Guess who's in the back cooking? Goddamn Issachar.
Yes.
I never knew. I'm thinking that they was doing a thing. That blackened chicken. Oh my God. It's Moab. I mean, it's a car back there.
And they could cook anybody's food.
Come.
They'll cook anybody. French, Italian. Yep. They better cooks in Italian than the Italian. Yep. Y'all sitting up there listening to Emerald. What's his name? Emerald Lagasse. And you listening to him like he all that. Please. Please give me 2 Mexicans and a spatula. I'll show you how to cook something. 2 Mexicans, a spatula, and a can of damn tomato sauce. And I'll cook you the what's the top Italian dish? The whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, rock that. I told you about my boys over there near me that make the Mediterranean. Now listen, a Mediterranean salad, you gotta know what you're doing. You understand? You gotta have the olives, the oil. You gotta have the fresh spinach. And I done tried many. I don't buy no Mediterranean salad except from this spot where these I.S.U.P.Ks make this a Mediterranean salad. I come in there, I order a Mediterranean salad. It be a Mediterranean salad, better than the damn Arabs make it.
Come on.
It's shameful what we are denied. And we only talking about the tribe of I.S.U.P.K. My goodness, what if you go to Judah? What if you go to Benjamin? What if you go to Levi? What if you go to all Zebulon? I mean, come on. Simeon, oh my God. Even though I think Simeon, let me not say that. Get myself, I was about to say something about them Simeonite sisters. Good Lord, Salaka. I don't want to get into it. All the tribes got something amazing. And what if you bring them together, man, to serve the Lord? I ain't saying bring them together to go do nothing in nobody else's kingdom. Let Esau do what he doing. He already wrecking his whole zone. He doing that on his own. It's biblical prophecy. You ain't got to go out there and battle him. But what are you going to do with yours? What can you do with yours? What do you know how to do with your own? And this poor sister's mayor of D.C. And 4,000 brothers come up off the bus. She's totally lost. And this is a very capable sister. This sister running D.C. is a very capable mayor. She handled that shit with Donald Trump. During during them riots, she handled her business, brought lawsuits. She moved how she needed to move and made it happen. But now these I.S.U.P.Kites, they begging for help. It's sad. Go ahead.
I say one thing, sir. And what you'll see now is across that southern border. I mean, other countries all throughout South and Central America, there are just so many people, not just I.S.U.P.K, but every so-called Hispanic-speaking tribe is pouring across that border. And that governor in Texas and Arizona, something to go to your point earlier, they're weaponizing racism by sending those buses of people over here. And I'll give you one point, right? This came out on the news on every channel, on all written media this week. The people on those buses are men. They're specifically sending men to these cities, not the women and not the children, so that when the news cameras get there, they can see 50 Hispanic men getting off of that bus, coming into your city, which weaponizes the racism of the people who live in New York and who live in DC. So that now when they see them, they're afraid. And you'll see this in these last days. You're going to see not just racism, but you're going to see how truly hateful people are of Hispanic and Black men. Because any bit of compassion that someone would have on a little Hispanic sister coming over with a baby, and they're in cages, most people don't even care about them. But there's some modicum of conscience that rails up about a little child. But no one is even allowed to feel sorry for a man.
Hell no.
And when those busloads of Hispanic men come into cities, even the Democrats who live in the city are going to go, hold up now. I don't want them in my neighborhood. It looks like the cartel's getting off the bus. It looks like just future purse snatchers getting off the bus, which means the mayors can't even help them. Because politically, you can't help an Hispanic man because he is dangerous. You can't help a Black man. So then it ties their hands like, what if I encourage them by giving them jobs and help? The people in the city will say, we don't want them there because people are afraid of Hispanic and Black men, which means you cannot help them. You can't show them the compassion you would give a woman.
Yeah.
As if a man doesn't need food and shelter like a damn woman.
Yeah.
As if only women and kids need a place to live and shelter and food and water to survive. But you're not allowed to show compassion to him because he's a man. And you can look the stories up. They all send men to make sure that even the people that live there won't feel sorry for them.
Right.
And it's amazingly evil in that we shouldn't. That's why, and you know I've been saying this for years on this show. You cannot listen to the brainwashing The brainwashing is what makes us hate them. You don't know nothing about the Mexicans except the great food they cook and how much they work hard on landscaping and building your house. That's all you know about them. You don't know much else about them until you sit down and talk to the man and hear the heavy stories these brothers be laying down. Then you know something. But because of the propaganda and the racism being shoved down your throat, you hate them as though they taking away something from you. And let me just give you, if I could, just an example. Do you know in Texas right now, in Texas, you could drive, and the brothers from Texas can definitely tell the truth about this. You can go right now in Texas and drive 2 hours from most major cities, and you're going to be in an area completely uninhabited in Texas. They got areas in Texas where the boars, pigs, run wild, grow their tusk out, and they running wild. And they got people that got tours where you get in a truck, ride out to those areas a couple of hours, and you able to kill pigs freely with your machine gun. Because the pigs, here's what is so amazing. They won't let the I.S.U.P.K come in, whose land it is. But the pigs is living on the land are multiplying like crazy, so much so that you can go down there with your gun and they will let you drive out there. It's legal. They will let you drive out there to that area and shoot as many pigs as you want. If you don't believe me, go on YouTube. YouTube, they out there. They call them, they got some name for them, which the brothers and sisters from Houston and Texas and all them different, Killeen, all our camps, Killeen, Houston, Dallas, all those camps, man. Y'all, San Antonio, Austin. We got camps all in there now. Big shout out to all the brothers down there in Texas holding it down. You ask them, you could drive 2 hours, probably less. I'm probably exaggerating. And they got areas out there, boars run free. And they multiply so much that they got to allow you to go out there and shoot them for free. You can shoot them.
You shoot them from your car.
From your car window. From your car window. And they allow you to shoot.
That's a helicopter.
Yeah, they got the helicopter tours too, where you could go through in the helicopter and play Rambo and fly over the area and just shoot out the helicopter and kill as many of them pigs as you want. And the reason for it, look at that, look at them having a ball. And the reason for that is because the pigs, because there's nothing there to there's nothing slowing their population down because they're out there by themselves. So they are multiplying like crazy. So you mean to tell me the pigs, the wild pigs can roam the land free and multiply like crazy until you decide there's so much that you got to kill them. But the Mexicans can't get a piece of land to build a house and have a family on. They can't get that. We show you the monstrosity of evil that this entire world is building against the Lord's chosen. Go ahead, Marat Salah.
If I could, sir. More than one person said, yeah, they'll pay you. One brother said they'll pay you $120, Khan, to hunt them.
They'll pay everybody except for a Mexican.
Yes. They're going to pay you to kill the pigs, but they won't spend the money for a Mexican to feed himself. We'll show you that's ridiculous. $120 a pig? Oh, per pig.
He didn't say per pig, but he said $120. More than one person said it, though.
I mean, imagine that. Like, it's ridiculous, Doc. So, just to add to what you were saying.
I think it's the same thing. Like, okay, it would make sense. It makes damn near logical sense to hire the Mexicans to come kill all the damn pigs. But you'd have to help someone that no one wants to help. Like the political fallout from even giving a Mexican man a job, well, people will lose elections.
And that's why you can't be a politician. Right? You like to lead God's people. You can forget about it if you're trying to be a politician. Because how you going to lead God's people and you can't lead them because you got to, once again, you got to be Caiaphas. You got to make the Romans happy. And so if the Romans ain't happy, you can't help your own people, which is why Christ came. Like that is exactly why Christ died on that cross. So there could be brothers who could not have to adhere to the Romans. And what's so poetic about it is them same brothers who did not adhere to them Romans, those brothers turned around and became the head of Israel. They became the ones that flooded Jerusalem. They became the ones that ruled over the temple. How did they become that way? Because Christ rose them up to actually care for the Lord's chosen. That's why every brother, if he comes into the I.S.U.P.K. and becomes a trooper and an officer of the Most High Christ, you stand with the Most High Christ, because the day is coming where the Lord gonna move the people that's in charge of you now out of the way, and then he's gonna move you in. You ain't gonna do it. You are not gonna do it, but the Lord is gonna do it, and he's gonna put you in that position, and then he'll get the glory as he should, and then he'll get honored as he should, and then God's people will be blessed, man, to have the proper leadership. You be surprised. Listen, go read them scriptures. The Lord pulled most of the greatest leaders we ever had, came right out the hood. You thought the guy sitting in power on top of the world, on top of God's people, was the man. But when the Lord turned around and was ready to get busy, he went and got the brothers who's in the hood, in the basement, in the bottom. Christ come out of Nazareth, one of the biggest ghettos in Israel back then, one of the poorest ghettos in Israel back then. And those are the kind of people the Lord rose up. Man, please, man. Let me get these rest of these stories in before we can get out of here, man. What was the next one we were holding? I made a statement earlier today. I said, if you love the movie Prey, they call it Prey, from the franchise Predator. If you love that movie, if you was crazy about that movie Prey, I don't know how long you and me can be friends. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I love you, but you just too slow for me. If you love that movie. That movie Prey was the evilest thing on the face of the laws of. First of all, I'm gonna just start with a few small pointers on it. Number one, it was a horrible depiction of what our Gadite brothers went through and our Reubenite brothers went through. Our Gadite and Reubenite brothers, man, they had a hard life living on that land. It wasn't all sweet and pretty like they made them out in that movie. And they war chiefs wasn't, Christians. They had war chiefs that was like Christians in the movie. Them war chiefs, man, was about war and survival. Esau lie all day about the stories of what it took for him to get this country. He make it like he just came through, swept and slaughtered them with the musket. Man, them Gadites fought tooth and nail. They had to make treaties with them Gadites, go back to war with them Gadites. They break the treaty, the Gadites go to war with them again. They had to fight them tooth and nail. Geronimo ain't give up to the very end, till damn near half all the people was gone, because he was going to fight them Edomites to the damn death. He would not give up till finally, for the sake of the last few brothers and sisters alive, he said, you know what, I'll go down and take the bullet for them. And he went and gave up, and then they moved them off to the reservation. That was real warriors. Them was cats that really got down and did what they had to do. You understand? So that was another thing. And then in the movie, they depicted them like little small groups. Them Gadites, man, ran whole cities. You don't see all the monuments and stuff, them pyramids they built. Them Incas and them Mayans and all them warriors, man, that was back then. They had whole metropolises, man. But they depicted them like just a small bunch of people with some tents trying to eat, grinding away a few feathers, a few leaves off a tree to make a little salve. They shamed the hell out them Gadites, man. They shamed the hell out of them. Then, of course, you know where I'm going next. The biggest problem, like in 2022, the last thing Black people, Latino, and Native Indian people need is more propaganda movies making men spineless and women the warriors of the damn earth. That's the last damn thing. And you Black men, I don't understand you. I do not understand you. Like, you love abroad to rule over you. Like, that movie was, I wanted to vomit at the abuse of masculinity that was done in that movie. They tried to give you a little bit of it with the brother. But of course, eventually he got killed. Everybody else got killed. And of course, who was left? The little female that nobody listened to. The female that had it all along, but nobody would hear her. And then, of course, she had the one warrior who defied her feminine authority. Of course, she had to have a fight with him and whoop his ass. and then turned around, and of course, he one of the first ones to get killed by the predator. Like, he didn't listen. Like, what they doing to us is evil, and it's not. And listen, I enjoy a good movie like anybody else, but we got a nation here to correct. And within that nation, them violations have to be brought out. Eventually, we'll be the ones dictating it. But there are other people, namely the so-called Jew, who cannot stand us, and they sure can't stand me. Writing articles, I ain't even get the letter from the mayor yet to read to you. They cannot stand me because for these things, for saying these things are not right. You understand? This is not right. They made her out to be the warrior, fight the predator, and it was just shameful. You know what I mean? She looked like she needed to go to the mall and get her a pair of sandals or something. And they got her in there with a hatchet with a rope on it. Like she's the big killer in the whole damn movie. It was sad. And of course, every 14-year-old little black girl, Latino girl, you understand, a Native Indian girl gonna watch the movie and think she could be, you know, the predator killer. And guess who the predator is? Ooh, you didn't know, huh? Oh, you ain't figured it out. You ain't figured out who the predator. The predator is you, nigga. You Latino. You Native Indian. You West Indian. You the one that she got to destroy. Listen, this Dykeism, this is bought and paid for with millions of dollars in movies. Yeah. And they pushing it and shoving it on you, and you're not repulsed by it. And you should be repulsed by it. It should disgust you that to make a decent, enjoyable movie, you got to be shoved down the throat with emasculinity. Like a man can't be a man. Like God give a man a right to be a man. And what nation of women, this is what I want to know. What nation of women conquered anything? You leave it to TV and movies, and oh my God, wait till they come out with the next Black Panther movie. My God. You're gonna see nothing but bald-headed bitches throwing spears and jumping over trees and you know, screaming war cry. With them, you know, with that Wakanda forever crack. Like for every decent movie, especially if it got any vibe of revolution, it always got to be that the woman was tougher than that man.
Yeah.
And that goes into your sons' minds, man, and breaks their spirit. And here's where it comes. This is why it's so evil. Let me take you back a little ways, maybe about 5,000 years. About 5,000 years ago, this is what they were shoving down your throat. Give me the picture of Astaroth, the one that you pulled up recently. Give me a screen big if you can. And I'm going to read the caption on this. And this is not that one. Not that one. That to the third one. The third. That's her too, but that's the one I want. Can you make that big? This is as demonic as it could be. Go ahead, Al. Now read me the caption about this. If you could. Wait. Let's let Marat get it up on screen so everybody can see it. This is what should anger your soul. I ain't telling you to do nothing different. The time will come where you'll be making the movies right. Right now, brother, they once again, the so-called Jew don't like me and don't want me talking about this. They mad at me because I said the things I said about Nick Cannon and others who compromised themselves for the sake of this man, when he never compromises his religion. And he controls all of the music and television and cable that you consume. He owns it on your phone, all of that. Everything you seeing and watching, he controls it. He influences it. He bends it the way he wants. Eventually, he'll get somebody black like Oprah or something, and he'll put them in power and make it like it's a black thing. They did that with BET. They set BET up, and then what happened when they got control of BET? Every video about selling dope, getting high, making whores out of women ran non-stop on BET. And when I say, I mean more than MTV and that other one that they watch combined. You could turn on BET 3 o'clock in the morning. There was some ass shaking, drug dealing, getting high, hoeing, video going on 24/7. You know why? Because that's what they wanted to put inside you. And for the life of me, I don't know what it is in me, or I don't know if it's just me, but for the life of me, I do not like going against, I don't like somebody else messing with how I think about me and my people.
That's right,
I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like somebody else shaping the image of my people.
Yeah.
Don't shape my image of I can see it for myself. I don't need you to make it like my women are more stronger than men when I can look and see that they're not. Their attempt at being, you know what happens? You turn off the movie, and then when you go to look for that spirit, guess what you're gonna turn on? Stupid ass sisters in the street who they done robbed of their education, destroyed their family with crack and cocaine and everything else. You understand? Taught to be whores in videos. You're gonna see them with some booty shorts on, arguing and mad and trying to have a fight with somebody on the street. And you can turn on professional TV series like Basketball Wives and all the other garbage and see that this was created for you to look at. Don't change how I look at my people for what they really are. I don't look at no black women like, oh, there's warriors among them, when I can turn on the internet and see what they really doing. Don't brainwashing is what y'all know from way back. Brainwashing has always been one of my things that I could not stand. Don't brainwash me, man. I could see with my own damn eyes. And that movie is brainwashing to young black and Latino and Native Indian girls, man. It is to brainwash them into ignorance. Read some more for me right quick, y'all, while I got some time.
Khan, Ashtaroth, Lilith, Ina, Ishtar, the Sumerian Wiccan goddess of feminine wisdom.
Stop right there. From where?
Sumerian.
For Samaria. Samaria. Now, who do we know came from Samaria? From summer. Our forefather Abraham came from over there. That's Mesopotamia. And from all the way back 5,000 years, they was teaching us to worship women. And the Lord told Abraham, get away from your people. Like the Lord saw that 5,000 years ago and told Abraham, roll out. Roll out. 5,000 years ago. And here we are. I told you, these gods been fighting the Lord out for 5,000-6,000 years. They've been fighting the Most High. You act like these new gods and new religions, all that, they all the same. That's the symbol, one of the symbols. I could be wrong on this one. I'm speculating. But I'm not even going to bring it up because I might be speculating. You got more on the caption?
That was on the caption.
You got more on the goddess? Give me some more, Marab, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Salaki, I don't have more on the goddess, but I do have some footage of what you were saying about how they brainwash us. I pulled this right here. This is Ray J. He getting wine.
You can use it. I don't know if you can use it.
Okay, I can still shout it.
Still shout it, please.
Khan, sir.
I'll go till you ready to come back to it unless y'all want to jump in. Please. Yeah, I ain't pulling no.
Khan. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7 and verse 18.
Go ahead.
The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the queen of heaven.
See that? To make cakes to the queen of heaven. Go ahead.
Khan. And to pour out drink offerings unto other gods that may provoke me to anger.
That will provoke the Lord to anger. I mean, how long before we recognize one of the fundamental things that God said for us to be aware of? And that was what happened in the garden. Our woman was deceived to convince us to seek power as a woman. She tried to become a diva, which is a female goddess. And that's Wonder Woman, Batgirl. Give me some more. Tons of them out there is what that is. And that spirit destroys sisters. That's why sisters destroyed now. Because you done become puffed up in your superhero self. And as a result, you can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody correct you in nothing. And so now you are a mess because, of course, you can't now get along with nobody because, of course, you can't compromise because in your dumb, stupid mind, you're Wonder Woman or something. It's a shame, man. 5,000 years, they still running that game. And that's why that movie was garbage. It was garbage. Okay, it was halfway garbage as a movie. Just as a movie, it was garbage. I mean, you could have did so much with that movie just as a movie. Them fight scenes, them landscape, you could have did so much more with that. I mean, the CGI on the bear was C-rated at best. You know what I mean? The bear looked like, Smokey the Bear hopping around on the CGI.
Just so y'all know, GEN.YAHANNA does not say a spoiler alert. The butler did it. Bruce Willis is a ghost.
Listen,
he's going to tell you the movie, and that's that.
Sorry.
So shalom. Go ahead, continue.
Listen, I said last week. Didn't I say last week? I ain't gonna say nothing. Because I had to give you time to watch the movie. If you ain't seen it, salam.
That's your ass. You should have saw it last week.
My bad.
You know what's crazy? When I saw that caption right there, right, with the brother with the axe, I thought that was a brother. I didn't know that was that sister until I watched the movie.
Yeah.
The first thing I said, like you said, well, this is about women's superiority. This ain't about nothing else, man.
It seems like I don't think they let them make movies anymore without a movie being about that. I think that's the only movies that are green.
Yeah.
I think if you go in there to get a movie made, they want to know first, is a woman the lead masculine hero physically? There's a movie coming out, sir, called The Woman King.
I heard about it.
And I don't understand because I thought that was a queen.
Yeah.
Until yesterday.
Not anymore.
Like, what in the hell does that even mean, a woman king? Right. Which goes to the point I wanted to make if I could, sir. All of this woman's superiority, belittling masculinity, it really is hurtful to femininity. Like, you're going to destroy something that is precious and wonderful in this planet, femininity. Like, they're erasing it.
Yeah.
Like, they're erasing what it is to be a woman with charm and wit and sensitivity. A woman who with a mind that's nurturing. They're going to wipe out femininity. And when they wipe out femininity, the only women that are going to go without protection is Black and Hispanic women. Yep. You are teaching Black and Hispanic men that you don't need protection, that you can kill the bear yourself, and that you can punch the villain in your face yourself. Now, white women will have their money as a defense.
Yep.
But if brothers aren't willing to get out of their car, to get up in the middle of the night and go fight for you, what in the hell are you going to do?
Yes.
You don't have white women's money to go hire men with guns. See, white women, they have police, and police are big men with guns, right? And white women have the military, which are big men with guns, right? But if you're a Black or Hispanic woman, you have that man that is willing to put his life on the line for you because you're smaller than him and you need him. Because without him, you're defenseless. Yep. And if he doesn't get up and do it, you're going to do it yourself. And I think you don't like that. I think that's really the major problem of your entire life. No father, no husband. You want a movie that teaches men that you don't need them? All right. Okay. That's all. The water.
If I could, the other day I was in the crib, just laying down. I heard him say, two cats came to the door. I don't know what's going on. They said something about something. I said, all right, here I come. I put my pants on, come. I said, yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Something. Find out what it was. Oh, it ain't nothing, baby. You're good. But the fact that they came, she felt uncomfortable and she called me, which is what they need.
I mean, you would think they would like that.
You understand?
I mean, that's all.
Yeah, if I could just piggyback what General Muhammad was saying, which is so heavy. Spoiler alert. There was a scene in that movie that amazed me, sir. I don't know if you noticed it. Is that when she was tied to the tree with her brother, and she came to the realization that the predator never looked at me as a threat because I'm a woman. That it had 3 opportunities to kill her. and she had like it was this sad montage. The music played. She was like, it never looked at me like I'm a threat. In the entire movie, in the beginning,
but put in the next line. what was the next thing she said? You can't leave that.
She said, I'm gonna use it to my advantage.
She said, that's why I'm dangerous. So they teaching a woman that since you look at me as feminine, I'm going to kill you. Like, that's what they were teaching. They was teaching that if you're gonna be looked at as a woman, make sure you're dangerous. Make sure you're the one that they don't see coming, and that you are a killer. Like, it was the evilest thing in a movie. You caught a good point to her. Like, that was a good point to bring out how they, like, the predator was looking at her like he's supposed to look at her, like she's a woman. They teaching in the movie that if he do look at you, and that's what y'all on. Y'all up there looking at the predator like, ooh, he looks so. The predator is you, dum-dum. You the predator. You the one trying that they trying to teach to kill. They trying to teach their own to kill their own. Okay? You the predator. You understand? You the one with it, like the predator come out of the sky. He's the one coming with God's spirit. But they teaching you that masculine spirit is really a demon. When that's not the spirit of God is masculine. Matter of fact, it's more than masculine. The spirit of God is a masculine warrior. Like, you want to understand God, you better understand what a warrior is like, of what a masculine warrior is like. Then you'll get a better understanding of what God is like, because that white Jesus you looking at, that ain't the cat. So the predator come down like, and he masculine and a killer and to wipe anything out. That's the spirit of the Lord. Like, God killed more people on the earth than anybody else. Ain't nobody killed more people than the Lord. The Lord done killed, the flood. Boom, everybody dead. So that's the real spirit of how the Lord is. And so when they showing you this movie, they showing you these movies to show so you could go against that spirit of God. So when that spirit goes into brothers and sisters, you will be against that brother and sister. You will be against that masculine brother that's masculine and a warrior and that's definite in his decisions and on point with what he does. That's that spirit. You come against it, and then they show you, like Yediah brought out. But if you have to be feminine in front of him because he's so powerful, he's so strong, where he look at you just as a woman, just be a sneaky, deadly bitch. That's really what they was teaching. He see you that way, no problem. Just be a slimy, disgusting, sneaky ass piece of shit. Like, that's what they show. And that's exactly what they want inside you, so you could be that creature. And you got to fight against that. And more importantly, you brothers got to fight against that spirit and not let that spirit inside you, man. Come on. What you got for me, Mariah?
I do have a list of women goddess, if you want that. Women warrior goddess.
Please, I'll take any one you got, because anybody can look this up. There's tons of this. This has been the spirit in Esau for years. Yeah. Okay? It goes all the way back to the Egyptian Empire. The ruling of these women, like something good Muhammad brought out one time. In Israel, there are no queens. There are no queens in the nation of Israel. There are only kings. You understand? Our women are princesses. Our men are princes. There are no queens. And that's for a good reason, man, because you can't do the job of a ruler. It's not your place. You understand? And thank the Lord for it, because damn, you got a good job, you women. You ain't got to go fight nobody. You know what I mean? In the right zone. You ain't got to fight nobody. You ain't got to kill. Your life ain't got to be on the line and threatened every minute. You do in this kingdom. You do in this kingdom because your men have been destroyed. But if you raise up men of God when Christ's kingdom set up, guess what? You'll never have to think about it again. Imagine a life where you never have to think. And when the Lord said, that's why in the scriptures, when the Lord said, the nation shall learn war no more. You know why? Because we're going to put the nations down in their land, and they're going to learn the war no more, because they're going to know fighting us is futile. They're going to know well, you come up against Christ's kingdom, he going to obliterate you. And they're going to put them weapons down. And guess what? You now, as a female, are going to be able to live peacefully in this earth. Why? Because those men will stand up like Christ taught them to do. That's the right spirit. Give me what you got, Murad.
Khan, sir, this is a list of warrior goddess. If I may, if I could, I thought this might be heavy. Traditionally, however, in most cultures around the world, women did not play an active role on the battlefield.
There you go. Like they trying to tell you that this female goddess crap that they shoving down people's throat is this is not real life. This is only real life here in America because everybody's under Esau's rule. So you can't be exactly who you are until you get into Christ's kingdom. Go ahead, Salaki.
Khan. The first one is Andraste, which is British. Anut, which is Egyptian. Athena, which is Greek.
Right, go ahead.
Bast, which is Egyptian. Badbi, which is Irish. Bellona, which is Egyptian. Durga, which is Hindu. She's like a female
goddess.
Look at all
goddess
the
and
heathens.
protector.
All the heathens.
You know about Kali, of course, with the heathens. I bring out one thing, sir, and you're
Medusa,
gonna see this.
go ahead,
Medusa. You're gonna see a list of all of these. I mean, very famous and prominent goddesses. But of course, when it's time for war, the military is men, which shows you one thing about these movies that's true for these ancient goddesses. Behind every one of these goddesses is some man who's using this myth to control people. And before you know it, you'll find out that behind Marvel Studios and behind every superhero movie and everyone with these women's rights and women being a hero, there's some man who's just profiting off of manipulating women and getting them to think that this movie is in essence a rebellion against the patriarchy. So now they all pile into this movie because really a man is behind the whole thing. And before you know it, someone like me will prove you're not a warrior by just dropping a spider right into that room. I'll show you something.
A mouse.
You know what I'm gonna do? Here's a cockroach right here. Now we're gonna see just what in the hell you are when a bug comes in there. You know what? Trash night. We'll see what you are. Trash night. The trash got to go out in trash night. We're gonna see where the warrior queens are, where the warrior goddesses are. When a moth comes into that goddamn room and you like to break every window in the room and crush everything trying to get out the room and scream and hide under the bed because a roach crawled in that room, we're going to see all the warrior princesses there. Mirage.
So like I said, don't let it snow. It's over.
Jesus Christ. When that car is under 6 feet of snow, take your warriorness out there on that snow to take out that trash. Go join the water department. Go climb in that goddamn sewer and make sure that pipes have water. This is what happens. All of this is a myth, which is the point I'm just trying to make. It's to manipulate your mind. But when it comes to killing a bug or taking out the trash or keeping the pipes working or the buildings having brick, the people in charge are going to get men to do it, but they manipulate you with lies and myths and stories. And that's all. Go ahead.
One last thing. So I don't know if you want me to finish the list, but I got one more superhero for y'all.
Drop it.
So-called, if I may, all right. If you wanted to finish the list, sir, or
no, finish what you was bringing.
Okay, Khan. This right here, this is for the Black and Hispanic community. I know they heard of Black Lightning. This is a superhero called Black Lightning. And this brother, man, if I may, sir, this brother cried about 4 or 5 times in this series. Literally straight up cried. The youngest daughter told him, every woman in this series told him that he cannot tell them what to do.
Okay.
Literally. But he saved about all of them about 5 times and cried.
And he cried.
Now, this sister right here, she has beat the brakes off of 1,000 black men, right? Now the brother, he's fighting, I'm gonna get to it in a second. The brother, he's fighting, he's fighting another man, another brother. But this sister right here, she has done her own thing. This is his daughter. Once again, told him she can't do whatever. The youngest daughter, teenager, told him I'm gonna do whatever. But I want to focus on the oldest daughter, right? If I may. This sister right here has beat the brakes off 1,000 black men. Period. Started her own thing. They call her like Harriet Tubman or whatever. She's a lesbian. Salaki. She's an LGT, whatever they call it. Khan. Here it is right here. Khan. So she is the leader of, she is literally the saver of Black and Hispanic men.
All right.
She saves Black and Hispanic men. She beats them when they bad.
Beat them when they bad.
and is a full out rainbow community. But she is the superhero that men call on in this series. Like the people in the community.
This is an actual show.
This is an actual show. The people, the dad in the community, everybody hates the dad because he's not tough enough. Like they show the news clips and they say Black Lightning ain't did enough. He ain't did this. Why he letting all this go down? You know, we need the girl. We need such and such. And she is the lesbian who, who's dad has saved everybody, literally. Ain't got no respect.
So I can go ahead.
Oh, say, and women wonder why men lie to you so much. Like women, you got to stop being so easily manipulated by men. You got to stop. These are oppressors who make these stories, and they just placate to you constantly, tell you everything you want to hear, and you sit home thinking that this is how their true feelings of womanhood, when they just want your money because of the commercials that come in between every show, are going to sell, things to black women. And you think everybody loves you who says they love you. You're just so easily lied to, which is why men lie to you so much. They lie to you because lying to you is easier than telling you the truth. And that's why these shows are so popular, because they're just lying to you. They're telling you a lie. They're sweet talking you constantly all the time. And you love it and you hate the truth.
And if I could, you was going to say something? No, go ahead.
I was going to say what General Muhammad is saying is just so heavy because, what Officer Morale was bringing out was heavy too. That even the creator of Black Lightning, that they were bought out by DC Comics, but it was started by a group in New York called Millstone Comics. And I'm a comic book junkie, sir. Black Lightning is one of the baddest niggas in black comic book history. And the fact that they took his character and portrayed him as this punk on TV, that is actually the contrary of what he is, that they still create through the comic books, was just completely disrespectful.
And if I could, what you're saying is so heavy in this, because this cat, from what you're telling me, sounds like he got a whole history in the comic world where he's bad, and now they get to take his character and decimate it so that their agenda could be pushed. And for those of you that don't understand the psychological warfare side of it, that is exactly what the Greeks and Romans did with Greek and Roman philosophies, the Greek gods, the mythical world. It was the exact same thing. They created those worlds and those stories and those characters to influence how you operate. They're doing it again today with movies and television, and is why you should resist it. I just want to read this one from Greece, which is just exactly what we're talking about, and why you sisters should, not so much the sisters, because the brothers got to lead the sisters the right way. And then and lying to a sister and playing her and playing games with her, it'll only last a while. After a while, you're gonna have problems. Instead of dealing with her straight on, and you sisters got to fight to deal with the truth. You got to accept the truth. You're not perfect. You're not a goddess. You're not a diva. You're not every man's dream. You understand? You are, in many cases, a big problem and a big burden and a big headache. And in a lot of cases, you hate men and don't even know you hate men. You don't even know that you are a woman that despises men, yet you still want a man because, spiritually, you absolutely are built to be with a man. But really, you hate men. And you hate it because you hate men because you've been taught that in this evil world. Let me just read this, goddess. Most of us are well aware of the heroics of the ancient Greek gods, but the goddesses from the ancient Greek mythology are no less important in terms of popularity and symbolic significance. Once again, these are mythical gods that they created the same way they create Superman and Batman and these mythical characters. And if you take those characters and those propagandas seriously, you're going to be brainwashed to thinking that you're supposed to be like them, which is, once again, if I could real quick, come back to why the Bible is so damn important. The Bible is so important because, and Salaka for using the term, but the Bible is so important because it's the measuring line for you to not go off. It's the measuring line for you to know what you should and shouldn't do, as opposed to, what's being fed to you in your mind. And every prophet that's ever come, including our King, Yahushua, and the disciples that came after him, all had to fight that mindset you were in and bring you back to the mindset of the scriptures. Let me read. It says this: just like the Olympian gods, most of the ancient Greek goddesses resided in the realms of heavens above Mount Olympus, all Greek mythology. Okay. Goddesses had special powers and could control specific aspects of life, from the motherly Rhea and dared to trick her own husband to save her children, to the queen of gods, Hera, or the goddess of wisdom, Athena, who was much revered by both gods and mortals, by both gods and mortals. Now you see how she said who tricked her husband to save her children? That's basketball wives. That's every video you watch it. Like, they took the Greek goddess stories and brought them up to today in TV. And since you don't control any of it, they just push it down into your soul and turn you into those type of people, which is why you got to come back to them scriptures, man. Okay, real quick. Who was much revered by more gods and mortals. The ancient Greek goddesses was much of a divine force to be reckoned with as the gods were. Here is and it goes on to tell you more about it. That was the spirit of this place. And that brother was the spirit. I didn't mean to go on so long, but that was most definitely the spirit of that movie, Pray. And I feel sorry for you sisters and brothers who can't see that in all of their propaganda. They're going to make you in this country, they're going to make you a slave to these Africans in a level that you have not seen before. Like, they are planning it out right now. And in a minute, you're going to wake up one day and say, why are the Africans treating us so bad? And here's what's the worst about it. Because you've been so brainwashed, you're not going to know to say these Africans, you ain't going to want to say these Africans are different than we are. So in other words, you're going to be oppressed by black people, but really these are Hamites, heathens. And that oppression, and Esau is going to have it, he's going to have a ball with it, because you're not going to be able to say this is racism, because they're going to be brown-skinned people like you. The only difference is they are going to be heathens, and they're going to treat you just like heathens. And one thing about Africans love to have people in slavery. Psychological slavery, physical slavery, economic slavery. They love a good slave. That's why their countries never go nowhere, because they're so busy enslaving people. And brother, they're going to bring that enslavement to you when they become your landlord, your boss on the job, the person you got to buy your groceries and food from. And Esau is working hard of it. And more importantly, he's going to make them a god over you. And you're not going to be able to cry racism, because it'll be Hamites. You had better take hold of this Bible, and I mean take hold of it hard. And you better come into the I.S.U.P.K. and learn this knowledge before it is too late, because it is coming to the end. I pray you can see through the darkness into the light. Join me every Monday night, Wednesday night, Saturday night, right here on this channel, ISUPK.com, ISUPK.org for now. You understand? Temporarily, while we build a new website. Join us every week, ISUPK.org. We do it up live every week. I got the heavy hitters in the building with me: General Muhammad, General I.S.U.P.K, Officer Moran, Officer Yadiah, holding us down, doing it like we do every week. I'm Commander General Yahanna, man. I hope you had as good a time as I did. I'll see y'all next time live in the UPK. Hey, New York City, the end of this month, Captain Tazaria got the New York barbecue. End of this month. Get in touch with Captain Tazaria. Get in touch with the officers. Find out all about it, man. Support him in it. I'll see y'all next time, fam. Shalom.
Yeah. Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and their head with that shit.
Friday, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I niggas not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspire. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we run it, bitch. Don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, find me. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel. I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and still. I heard they want my life. I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. I.S.U.P.K top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line into a damn tank. I got chopper stash in the attic like they Air Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See, I'm throwing that